Let's turn our attention to Delta State, where the flood situation which is ravaging some states in Nigeria, and some families in Delta State have been rendered homeless and farmlands washed due to ravaging flood waters, which continue to rise. The state government has opened 3 camps for internally displaced persons as water level threatens to wreak more havoc. Ikenamechi reports.
As floodwater level rises daily, residential and commercial buildings in lowland parts of Asaba along Awan Road and Cable have all been submerged. Residents are in a race against time to move their property to safer locations. Canoes have become means of transportation here. While many people are already counting their losses, this young man is making bricks business from ferrying commuters and their property. But others prefer wading through on foot, perhaps unwilling to part with the scarce financial resources at this difficult time. I boarded the canoe to catch a glimpse of the extent of loss and human suffering caused by the natural disaster. The flood has submerged many houses here, with families displaced, as many who are managing to stay here can only move with the aid of this canoe or walk through the water. Adigonyero is a mother of 2. The flood affected her home and her source of livelihood. Her story paints a picture of the present reality of most victims here.
I think around September 5th, it was already showing at that end because I have a fish farm there. So before, around September 5th, I've already started seeing the water coming up. Then gradually, it took over the whole farm and started getting inside people's houses. These residents here, I think they've moved away from their home since like 10 days ago or 2 weeks back. But I'm still just hanging around because I really don't have anywhere to go to. My family's not here.
We just pack out. We are stranded now. Even the church. There's no place for fellowship for now. And we are hanging around. All we just need is help from the government.
Over 2 weeks now. So it's now rise and cover everywhere. We thought it will not come to this extent. So we can manage and be staying in our various houses, but the way we are seeing it now is now too much.
This is the Awan Ila Road. It has been flooded now, and the only vehicle that can pass here is articulated vehicles. For others who want to access this road now, they can only do so with the help of a canoe. Some resilient tricycle drivers attempted to drive through the surging waters, but this one was not as lucky as his colleagues. The canoe remains the safest option, especially for traders coming from Ugbolu markets.
I don't know say water go come like that for this year. It did too much now. I cross for boat to go cross for keke go. Market you no go again. The water don't close the market.
The Delta State government, after a meeting with the 2022 Flood Disaster Management Committee, approved the opening of 3 internally displaced persons camps. They will provide temporary accommodation for hundreds of victims until the flood waters recede enough for them to return to their homes and what is left of their farmlands and other businesses.
It's quite challenging in the sense that a lot of communities have been submerged. But because of the orientation process and the information process, most of our peoples have moved to the upland. What we've been able to do is that they've set up camps. They've set up camps. We have 3 camps running now. One is the Ozoro camp that caters for those in the center, the Delta South, the Isoko axis, Uzere, Isoko, and parts of Isoko, really challenging. We have another camp at Ashaka. Ashaka is in Ndokwa West local government axis. And then we have the Obuafo camp here in Asaba, because the Oko Anala, Oko Bule, Oko Amakom, and more communities in Okwe, here in Oshimili South local government, have been submerged.
Reprieve is not likely to come the way of thousands of Delta State residents anytime soon, as more buildings are under threat of being submerged. This is because the flooding is made worse by the constant rainfall. Ikenna Amechi, TVC News, Asaba.